What's up, my friends? So last night I'm on the Instacart app. That's how I pretty much go about getting most of my groceries if I can. Most of the time it's Aldi, but last night it happened to be Kroger. I needed like some certain food things that I could only get there, and then I needed all the components of a taco salad I'm gonna make and just some random stuff. And then I'm like, I wonder what kind of selection they got going on, like with their makeup and beauty stuff. And then I found some kind of store brand stuff, and I thought, maybe I want to know how Kroger's store brand stuff is. So I got some things, and my shopper did a great job. She messaged me as she was shopping about a couple things that were out of stock, so that was too bad. But there's still quite a bit that she was able to get for me. So let's take a look. Kroger. Oh, also Belle picked me a dandelion earlier. There's this line called Pretty Savvy, and they had a few different kinds of brushes. They had this 3-piece oval brush set, and I thought, Kroger? Really? Of all places? Let's try it. Also, they have a blending sponge, and I thought, why not? Let's give that a go. They had a few other kinds of brushes, but this was what I really wanted to test. We're also going to be testing out some of these Kroger fragrance-free makeup removing and cleansing cloths. I'll see how it does on the makeup removal. I'm very encouraged by the fact that it says fragrance-free. Typically, I like those Olay or Equate daily facials cloths. They're dry and they suds up, and they remove all my stuff really well. But this says removes long-lasting makeup, including waterproof mascara. It tells you kind of what it's trying to do, pure with Neutrogena. So we'll see how that works. This reminds me of the kind of video I did at Dollar General a while back. I did like a couple editions of that, but here's another Neutrogena dupe, duping the Hydro Boost Water Gel. This is the Hydrating Water Gel from Kroger. I noticed they had some products in their Simple Truth Organic line, including a moisturizer that I wasn't able to get. It sounded really good, but I did get this Honey Vanilla Moisturizing Lip Balm. You know, I love a good lip balm. I'm always up for trying something new. I also wanted a Burt's Bees lip balm that they didn't end up having, but just looking through the selection, I landed on this Revlon Illuminance Cream Shadow. This is the Skin Lights set, and I thought that might be kind of fun, not just as eyeshadow, but maybe some cream highlights on the skin. And I decided I wanted to experience some Revlon Photo Ready Stick Concealer again, so I got one of those. So pumped to try this stuff out, you guys. This is the kind of thing that really excites me, you know, the hidden gems of Kroger. So you want a rapid fire haul of what else I got? Black beans, some very mature looking Lunchables, ground beef, only the finest quality and freshness, a little romaine blend, because I'm feeling lazy, because my aunt said this is the closest thing to corn being actually cut right off the cob, and we were out of this. Okay, so I'm gonna try removing my makeup with these fragrance-free makeup removing and cleansing cloths. Again, these are the like Neutrogena dupe. Claims to remove long-lasting makeup, including waterproof mascara. I don't have waterproof mascara on today, but I do have a pretty glam face. I've got glitter. Talk about giving it a task. I've got glitter on today. I didn't start the day with a glittery look, but later on when I was playing around with a different palette, I was like, okay, let's try the glitter. And now it gives a nice challenge to these towelettes. They feel nicely moist. Sorry for saying that word, but they feel moist out of the package. Sometimes these pre-moistened towelettes just don't always feel that way. Taking off a lot of makeup here. Really focusing on the face first. I don't know what's going on in the other room, but Bub's in charge. No jumping off of the stool. Where these kinds of towelettes always make me like question their worth is when it comes to like the mascara and the eyeliner. Can you actually get rid of that? Got a ton of glitter coming off here. The towelettes are a really nice size. They do not feel too small. Sometimes I've had some off-brand ones that really feel like it's not enough to really go all over your face. But my gosh, it's still feeling juicy. I'm at the tail end now. I've gotten everything off. Seems totally clean. I would say there's some glitter kind of all over because, you know, you're taking it off in some places and then putting the wipe all over your face. But Here's where we're at. It actually did take all the mascara off, so now I think I'm just gonna take a little cotton round and some of my Thayer's Witch Hazel, and we'll take that all over the face and see if we're picking up any additional residue. But overall, I'm impressed with the size, the amount of moisture in it, no feelings of sensitivity around my eye area, which is nice, and it seemed to effectively remove the eye makeup. And here is the cotton ball test all over my skin. This is the coconut water scent, by the way. Really love how refreshing that feels. Alcohol-free toner. Just going all over my face to see, is there anywhere it missed? And it's really coming off clean. So I would say these Kroger wipes did a pretty good job. So this is a little bit of an afterthought for nighttime. I just removed my makeup with the wipes. And I was thinking about using this in the morning, but I think I'm going to use it now as well, because sometimes you can get a good sense of how a cream is working for you with the way you feel after a night's sleep in it. So this is that hydrating water gel, Kroger brand, and it does feel super duper light and thin, and it feels like it's just kind of melting down to nothing. I mean, it's thin and kind of a gel-like consistency there, as you can see, but it thins out even more as it melts into the skin. I feel like I'm getting, I don't know, a decent amount of moisture, but not maybe a ton. This says compared to the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. We'll see how it goes tonight, and we'll try it again in the morning too. Good morning, guys. It's the next morning now, and just to follow up on how this went throughout the night, I mean, I feel like when I woke up, my skin actually felt fine. I mean, I thought it was just gonna sort of drink it up and I'd wake up feeling dry, but it was really pretty nicely balanced, I would say. Not overly greasy, but not dry by any means either. So I've already used my micellar water this morning, and I'm going to throw it on again, and this time really pay attention to the way this works under my makeup. I'm kind of just grabbing the product off the cap here because there's quite a bit. I don't know that I've actually tried the Neutrogena version of this, but Garnier has something called Water Rose. Had to check the name. It's sitting over here in my skincare area, and it has a very similar texture to this, and it all kind of reminds me of the cream from Tatcha. And if my skin looks a bit tan, it's because I used some self-tanner. That's probably a story for another video, but I used some of those, I think it's called Isle of Paradise drops. I got a deal from QVC, the body one, which I haven't used yet, and the face one. So that's giving my skin a little extra color right now. Alrighty, we are now moisturized. I'm gonna throw on my Supergoop sunscreen. This is the Glow Screen. I don't know that I'm gonna do the entire like full face makeup look in this video. I'm just gonna sort of do what pertains to the products I have and the brushes I got and stuff. Now we're gonna try this lip balm. This is from the Simple Truth organic line. You can get like organic food from that brand from Kroger, but this is honey vanilla. It says contains vitamin E and essential fatty acids. It says it's made with organic beeswax, and the scent, ooh, really good. Nice and smooth, kind of a little more thinness and smoothness going on than Burt's Bees. Not criticizing Burt's Bees, but I always have felt like when you get a traditional Burt's Bees, there's a little more drag across the lips, and this is very, very smooth. The scent is amazing. Definitely smell the honey and the vanilla. It's kind of a wider stick, a little bit bigger around than a classic chapstick or a lip smacker, but that feels actually fantastic. 100% will keep using that. Now we need to work in our brushes and our sponge. These are both from the Pretty Savvy line, and my sponge says contour blending sponge with vitamin E. I never really know exactly what they mean by that. Like, how is this infused with vitamin E? I thought it was going to be pretty hard when I took it out of the packaging, but after getting it wet at the sink, it really does seem quite spongy and feels very similar to a Real Techniques sponge, but maybe just slightly tighter than that overall. You know what I mean? I think a Real Techniques sponge might have blown up a bit bigger than this. Also, the edge is a little imperfect. You can kind of see where it's just not cut perfectly there. I don't know if that's going to make any difference, but just an observation. And then we've got our oval brush set. Let's take these puppies out. This was the thing that I laid eyes on the website and thought, okay, Kroger, putting out some like Artiste dupe brushes. Let's see. Ooh, they are really soft, really dense, as you would expect this style of brush to be. I've never tried the real Artiste brushes, but I have used some knockoffs from different brands, different ones from Real Techniques that are kind of in the ballpark. Moda has has made some. I feel like there's been maybe one other brand that I've used that have done this style of brush, and I feel like this is the one that would be good for all over foundation. This one probably more for concealer, and this one maybe for some real pinpointed concealed areas. I don't know, it's teeny tiny. I think I'm gonna use this for foundation and then maybe try bringing in the sponge for some concealer on one side. We'll see how that does. And I'm gonna put a little bit of primer on today. This is my Hard Candy Smoothing Primer Balm. Love this stuff. Not sure if you've seen my videos talking about this, but to me, it's even more similar to the Tatcha than e.l.f.'s Poreless Putty Primer is. It's really smoothing. It glides across the skin so easily. And now we're gonna take a little Maybelline Superstay. I have this in the shade Warm Nude. I also have a lighter shade, but I think my deeper shade is actually gonna work out for me today. And we'll just dab this around like I like to do. I'm so excited about these brushes. And let's take this brush and just, oh, there is something very satisfying about this, guys. Especially when you're working with a good coverage foundation and you see that just swipe across the skin like that. Yeah. Why don't I reach for any of my brushes that are like this anymore? It's kind of like they had their moment. They were sort of trendy, but wow, they do a nice job. Superstay, I mean, it doesn't set too fast, but it does set. I mean, the evenness is just outstanding. Super duper soft. Obviously with the handle you're gonna hold and then you can feel a little flexibility, just like a little give. Not a ton, but there should just be, in my book, I think a little flexibility there. Okay, so you're getting your ground beef and your olive oil, and you can also come out with a pretty dang great foundation brush. Now I wanna do some concealer. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Man, talk about a rediscovered moment with that foundation too, though I haven't used Superstay in ages. We're gonna do some brightening here, down the nose, around the nose. So I've got this brush. This is the smaller size to see the size comparison here. I think this one's gonna be good for concealer. We're gonna tackle this side first, and then I'm gonna bring in the sponge on the other side. Okay, it hits that inner corner pretty well. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I've got way too much concealer here though. I feel like I'm sort of just moving the concealer around as opposed to really blending it in. So let's actually bring in the sponge to help at this point. Ooh. Sponge really feels totally fine. Again, it reminds me very much of Real Techniques. I'm not really fully understanding the vitamin E infusion in it or where that benefit's coming from. But if you were in a pinch and you're like in Kroger and you absolutely have to have a makeup sponge, I mean, this would certainly do the job. I forgot, I've got to give this guy a chance to do its work, the tiny one. Oh, this I'm not digging. I feel like it's just moving the product around. Kind of need that sponge to come in and help out there. Let's see what we can do over here on this side. This concealer is starting to want to set just a little bit more. I feel like these brushes are kind of the masters of maintaining coverage, you know, like as you could see, none of it was going away. As I blended out here, it wasn't like it was sinking into the brush or anything. It was really moving around the product. I think I probably could have gotten by with a more minimal concealer application with these brushes because they're really good at keeping the coverage there. They're just so dense. So I'm not really saying I dislike this brush, but I just think I could have done less concealer with it. This little baby one, I don't know. What would you use this tiny thing for? I mean, some people might use it up around the eye area, I suppose. But the star is the way this blends out foundation. That was just great. Great moment for me. Love that. Oh, I forgot I picked up this Revlon concealer, the Revlon Photo Ready that I wanted to have in my life again. Oh man, you know, I was up multiple times last night. I can still even see a little darkness. Let's just give her a go over here. More concealer. The shade is so perfect. This is light. I always had light medium before, but I think the light is even better. Let's go back to this brush. Oh, that pairs fantastic actually with a creamy stick concealer. That texture of the concealer with this kind of brush, really great. Okay. Hidden gems, y'all. They're everywhere. Feeling pretty great about this skin right now. This is nice. Okay, I'm gonna breeze through a couple of steps right here. I'm gonna take my Rimmel Stay Matte, use my little e.l.f. brush. And that lip balm, is it just me or do those lips just look great just with the balm? Another thing I might try with this brush is a little cream contour actually. Let's pull out the contour stick and just see how this goes. All right, got my really nicely done foundation look, and now here I go with the cream contour. I've got confidence in this. I know it will blend. Dang. It just requires a little more pressure than I thought it would to blend that out. I think if I kind of had kept things more dewy all over the skin, it might have just blended right into, you know, a more dewy, glowy type of finish. But that's fine. I feel really contoured. Wow. I don't feel like that streaked up the look of my foundation at all, even though I was kind of applying some pressure to it. Okay, we're gonna pop on a blush. This is CoverGirl Natural Shimmer right here. It's kind of a neutrally looking blush, a little bit mauve-y neutral. A little bit more impressive looking on the cheeks than in the pan. Love, so pretty. Then here's kind of a random thing, not a store brand thing, but something that I just noticed was available, and I'm like, okay, I want to pick that up. This is the Revlon Illuminance Cream Shadow in the shade called Skin Lights. So it's this little like quad of cream shadows. And I actually thought they might make sort of a nice multi-purpose, multi-use thing on the skin. You know, not necessarily just as eyeshadows, but like this peachy color, this peachy gold, maybe on top of the blush. I'm seeing them almost as having more worth as like a cream highlight type deal. So I'm gonna pop that one shade on just kind of over top of my blush, the apple of the cheek area. Okay, not loving that. That totally just brought attention to my pores. But this shade right here, let's talk about some cream highlight up in this zone. Pressing in. That I'm liking. Definitely. Kind of tempted to press over it with my dampened sponge just to work it in a little bit more. I wonder if I took this brush, actually gently went into that shade. Well, that's the way to do it. Totally works. Ugh. Get it done at the grocery store, y'all. Grab a little bit of this and just swipe some on right up here. And since this is a larger plane of the face, bring in the big boy. Just get a nice sweep across there. Nice little glow. Absolutely love. And then I think I'll kind of finish off my skin with a little e.l.f. makeup mist and set, and then just dab over things with my sponge. Get it all nice and worked in. All those textures working together. I think it's actually looking really, really nice. So I just did my brows. I used my e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil and my Almay Brow Styler, just kind of trying to keep it all drugstore in this video. Now these shadows, I don't know if I mentioned, but they do not actually set. It's been a long time since I've used these, but I can still tell through the swatches on my hand, like they do not fully set for long wear. I remember using some of these like in my earliest days on YouTube, and they can perform pretty well as a base. Now we've got these two shimmers that we use kind of as a blush topper and a highlight, and then we've got this peachy shade that seems to have a little less shimmer. And I think I'm just gonna use that all over my lid to just give myself a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little neutralization of my eyelid. Yeah, that practically feels like I'm using concealer right now. Applying it kind of like eye primer through the crease. Just making sure there's not too much on because that's where you can start to get creasy. And then there's this little bit, this definitely has some shimmer, kind of like a shimmery taupe. I don't know, let's just dab it on the outside and see. Not bad for like a super soft crease. How about I add a little more right in here and actually see if this medium-sized brush that we first used for concealer kind of blend that out for me. Why not? Looks fine. I mean, these shades are just super duper light and soft, so don't expect a whole lot of contrast. Now I'm tempted to take a little bit of this lighter shade, really spotlight the brow bone area with that. Yeah, just a little natural goddess type glam going here. Okay, I think I've got a purpose for the little one. Let's go right into this. And let's just dab it around the inner corner, maybe. Kinda, sorta. It's there. It's not like a real strong, blinding kind of shimmer right in that zone, but it's present. Maybe we take some of this, our little deep friend here at the end, and soft smudgy liner. It's hardly dark enough for that because it does have that shimmer, but we tried, okay? I do think with a deeper shadow, this could be a great smudger. I mean, look at the way it fits right in that zone. I need just a little brightener here in the lower inner rim. I'm gonna keep my eye look super natural as is. Why not? Let's just go with it. I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'll pop on a mascara. I did not get this from Kroger this time, but I know this is available there. It's Maybelline. It's just the Lash Sensational mascara, and we'll be right back. Oh my gosh, I just realized all this little fluff, all this little regrowth I'm starting to have here from postpartum hair loss. Yay. But this is my finished look, everyone. Definitely digging it with just the mascara, and I threw on this lip color. This is the Melting Glass Shine from Revlon in the shade Rum Raisin. To me, that's just like a perfect everyday rosy color, is it not? I'm loving the way the skin came out. Obviously, you can't 100% credit like all the things from Kroger here because I use Superstay foundation, which I guess you could come up with at Kroger. But as far as the tools and everything, that was a pretty good thing to work with. This sponge was $4.99, and I feel like if you're trying to minimize your stops, let's say, if you are getting out, and you just want to lessen your exposure to lots of people and places, and you're thinking, okay, instead of stopping at Walmart or Ulta or wherever for my Real Techniques sponge, can I get this and make it work? Absolutely, this can work. It's squishy enough. It really helped me get the job done on the under eye area today. This brush set was only $9.99. You got 3 brushes, one that's absolutely fabulous for foundation. This one for concealer, think about it for maybe your stiffer like cream concealers, or going forward, I'm gonna make sure I don't over apply concealer when I plan on using this because it really can make the most of what you do put on. The little guy here, I think my favorite use for this might end up being under eye like smudgy liner, or maybe even smudging out something along the lash line. I don't see a ton of need for it as far as just like a face complexion type brush. But also talking about minimizing orders, if you do the Instacart thing, you know, there are charges associated with the delivery of those products and you're tipping the person who's bringing them. I think lessening the amount of orders you're making is a real thing, a real concern you might have. So can you get your makeup wipes from Kroger? Frankly, these worked better for me than the Neutrogena ones have. I feel like there's more moisture in them. By the time you get to the end of taking everything off, there was still quite a bit of moisture in these wipes. And that's kind of everything. And it did take off my eye makeup. And then when I followed up, everything was clearly gone and absolutely no irritation on the eye area. That's another issue I'll sometimes find with the knockoffs, but these were great. Most definitely will keep using the lip balm. That was a fun little find as well. Oh, that was only $1.99. And then the hydrogel cream, this was $12.59. I think it's okay. It managed to moisturize my skin pretty well, but I'm not so sure I'm gonna love this going forward all day under this makeup look, particularly under like something like Maybelline Superstay that's kind of a matte full coverage, matte full coverage foundation, because even looking up on the under eye area right now, like I'm seeing a few more lines, and I feel like what I tend to like about my richer face creams that I might apply is that they somewhat plump up the skin a little bit more, and they say, hey, full coverage stuff, full coverage concealer. I'm still gonna give the skin the juice and the hydration it needs to be able to work with these products that have so much coverage. This isn't quite doing that so much. It's a cool feeling. It's a neat sensation to apply it on the skin, almost a little bit cooling. Maybe I should put this in the makeup fridge. It could be kind of a little cooling treat, maybe a first layer or something like that. It practically does feel like a serum as it blends in because it does thin down so much, but oily to combo skin might be something especially for that skin type to consider. So overall, I think this was quite a success. I also had a delightful taco salad last night, so that was good. What I do is I kind of make up this meat mixture with the taco meat, black beans, corn. The recipe I had found quite a while back on Pinterest. It's called like Doritos Taco Salad. So you mix up your lettuce with that, also some crunched up Doritos, and you add in some French dressing or West Western dressing or Catalina dressing, the dressing that has like 3 different identities out there. You put in some of that, and I mix in some salsa as well, and it's really, really good. But if you're wanting to like be able to eat on that for several days, don't mix in your Doritos, don't mix in your lettuce first. That's just in the fridge ready to go, and then when you're ready to eat it, just, you know, tear up some lettuce, get a big scoop of that on there. It's very hearty and filling. Sprinkle on a little cheese, a little crumbling of some Doritos or any kind of tortilla chip, and it is so, so good. You didn't think you were coming here for a taco salad recipe, did you? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this crazy video, and I will see you soon. Bye.